Hey everyone, it's me Joji, and today we're going to be taking a look at the new Rebel Clash theme decks featuring Zacian and Zamazenta. Now, I'm not too sure which one's the better one, so we're going to take a look at them and just based off their cards, kind of come up with some ways to use them. That way, if you guys are interested in getting either of these, you know how to better use these cards so you can win some matches even though they're theme decks. Now, I'm also going to give my opinions on these theme decks, especially with the newer League Battle decks coming out this week. If you should really get these or should you skip them. So, yeah, let's go ahead and open these up. So we have these two here. I think I'm going to start with the Zacian one. And yeah, like I said, there are two new items. I think they're called League Battle decks. Featuring Pikachu and Zekrom and Reshiram and Charizard. Yeah, that's the other one. They're pretty much they're already pre-made decks that are really great. They did well in the meta recently, but they've slowly died down, but they're still pretty competitive. Well, we're gonna take today a look at this stuff. So we get this nice, awesome looking Zacian coin. One of the things I actually enjoy about these theme decks is the coins you get. Obviously some information. There's probably some options for how to use the deck better. Your usual counters, how to play the game, quick start rulebook, and a mat probably featuring Zacian. And of course we got this awesome Hollow Shatter Zacian here. Now this is the only way to get a Hollow Zacian in this style. There is a non-hollow version in Rebel Clash, so this is the special Hollow Shatter that we can get from decks. Which is kind of the one reason you would want to get a theme deck, other than maybe getting non-hollow versions of other cards. So if you're a collector in general of cards, if you want to get the hollow, non-hollow, and all the other different formats of a single card, you usually have to get theme decks as well. Yeah, not bad. Nice looking card. We'll probably take a look at this deck in a while. Let's actually go ahead, show off the code card for you guys. Right there. And we're going to actually open up the other theme deck now, just so we can take a quick look at that card. So here it is, the Zamazenta one. I am actually playing through Pokemon Shield instead of Pokemon Sword, which is usually the more popular one that people play through. I think I post that on Thursdays. Here is the coin with Zamazenta. Giving a loud roar there. Honestly, these coins are definitely the best part about these decks. We'll take a look at the card and the code card in a bit. Here's the box. And of course the same stuff as the other one, except this probably has Zamazenta on it. I'm not going to take a good look at that stuff because you can see that stuff in any other theme deck really. It's all the same stuff. The mats aren't that exciting. They're probably just the same artworks that you see on the Sword and Shield thing, or maybe even just on the box that we saw for those decks. Here is the Zamazenta card though. Nice looking card. Again, this is the same card that you get in Rebel Clash, but in a hollow ice form. So the only way, again, is to get this through a theme deck, which is not bad. I think these go for about $10 or so it's not too bad. If you're starting to play, which is a good thing. If you're starting to play Pokemon, you don't want to spend too much money on a deck, and if you just want to dip your toes into it, theme decks are usually the best way to do it. And if you want to try playing those, you can always use these codes to get yourself a theme deck. And also, if you don't get a chance to get that code, you can always buy it with the online currency, which is, you just get it through playing games anyways. So it's not that hard to really get. So now we're going to take a look at these two theme decks here. So the Zacian and Zamazenta one. Not bad. As I said, I'm thinking, actually, these are awesome. Look how that looks. I kind of wish that they like match up together. That'd be cool. But we're gonna open these up off camera. I'm gonna sort them out and then just show them off. Like, you get this many of this many of that. So, transition. Okay, so I organized the cards for the Zacian deck, and here are the 2 Zacians you get. As you can see, this is the regular one you would get in the Rebel Clash packs, and this is the Hollow Ice one. Obviously, you get 2 of whatever the card on the front is for every theme deck, usually. In this case, 2 Zacians, so not bad. Not really the greatest Pokemon to play with for a theme deck, in my opinion, because Smashing Edge is kind of a double-edged sword, pun intended. 120 damage, but you have to flip a coin, and if it's tails, you discard 2 of the energies, and it already uses 3 energies to attack with, which is kind of annoying, but you'll see as to why we get another item in this deck for that reason. Let's go on to the next Pokemon, and here we have Hawluchas. So I think this is more of a utility Pokemon. This is the reason it's put in here. Windfall lets you essentially draw cards for the turn if you have some stuff that you really don't want in your hand. So that's there. Then we have a 3 Pidove, 3 Tranquil, and then 2 Unpheasant line. Now, I don't know why we got this Pidove, Tranquil, Unpheasant line. I've never really played with Pidove or any of these cards. I think they just kind of needed to fill it with some other Pokemon. Honestly, you could have added some other Pokemon in here, and it might have been better. Again, discard an energy to attack for Air Slash. It does 150, which is not bad, especially for what is it, a 1 prize Pokemon. But I think you could probably do without this line. If you do plan on playing this with other cards you get, you can probably take that one out. We have a 3 Nose Pass, 2 Probopass line. Now this is going to be very important because gravitational drop does 30 more for each energy attached to your opponent's their retreat cost. So say in this case you're fighting against another Probopass. It has 4, so 10 times the 4 for 120, 130 damage for 1 energy. That's pretty good, honestly. Especially for some of the stronger decks. There's a lot of high energy retreat cost Pokemon out there, especially with the new VMAX Pokemon. So this is actually pretty good, and I don't have any Probopasses. I think I have a reverse one maybe, but there is a holo version. This is the non-holo. So for the people that collect holo, non-holo Pokemon cards, you have to get the deck to get these non-holo Probopass. Yeah, I'd probably keep this line in here. It is kind of helpful, and again, Nose Pass is decent. It's not really the best Pokemon, but the Probopass definitely necessary. Then we have a 3-2 Galarian Meowth and Galarian Berserker line. Now, I think they added this in just because it's a metal type deck, but I don't really like this Galarian Berserker. There is the Sword and Shield Galarian Berserker, which is a lot better because of its ability, which adds, I think, 20 attack damage to whatever your active Pokemon is. So if you had 2 of those on your bench, you would do 40 more damage. So that one's a lot better. If you do get your hands on 2 of those and you get this deck, I'd probably replace those with and add these with the other 2 in here. So that's just one suggestion. That's pretty much it for all the Pokemon in here. So yeah, those are my suggestions for removing or adding Pokemon. We do get a good amount of trainer supporter cards here. So we get 2 Professor Research cards, which is awesome, really. Professor's Research is one of the best cards to come out of Sword and Shield, with it being able to discard your hand and draw 7 new cards, just like the old Professor cards. Really great cards. And again, non-holo version. So collectors of cards, if you want the non-holo, holo, and the reverse cards, you have to get the theme decks. So I think that's the only way to get these, other than pre-release kits. Then we have 2 Sonias, the newest supporter, one of the newest supporters from Rebel Clash. Really great. 2 basic Pokemon or 2 energies. So you have to do 2 or the other. You can't mix and match. And it's helpful to get some maybe Zacians out or some other Pokemon to evolve into. Or if you just need some energies to get into your hand. Then we have 4 hops. It's a really basic card, just draw 3 cards. Not really played too much. I would suggest getting rid of these and maybe replacing 2 of these with some Professor's Research if you can, or maybe Marnie's, which are a lot better than I think these hops. Then we have 2 Dan the Mans. A really interesting card now. It makes you and your opponent play rock, paper, scissors to see if you draw more cards. I think the winner gets 2 more cards, so it's fun. It's a little fun thing to do. It's kind of like Blaine's quiz show, where you had to guess the Pokemon based on their attack. We also have 2 Pokekids. Again, another good card to draw Pokemon with if you don't have some of the items will show off later in hand. I would replace these honestly with the item that will show off, but for now, Pokekids are okay. Okay, so moving on to the item cards, we have Pokemon Catcher to start off with. Honestly, not a bad card. Gusting effects are going to be very huge in the next couple of sets, especially with Boss's Orders coming out. This one's not as strong as Boss's Orders because you have to flip a coin, and if it's heads, then you can choose one of the Pokemon to bring up. But it's still decent to have. We have, of course, 2 Metal Saucers, and as we saw with the Zacian, you have the chance to discard energies. So this is why they throw in some Metal Saucers. Although there's only 2, which I would probably replace maybe some of those Pokemon from the Pidove line with some more Metal Saucers, because you're going to need more than just 2 if you're attacking with Zacian, or I forget what the other Pokemon was, but I think it was the End Pheasant. So yeah, you want some more Metal Saucers. The card that I mentioned that you could replace Pokekid with is Great Ball. There is also a Pokeball, which is came out in Rebel Clash. But Great Ball, you look at the top 7 cards of your deck, if you can choose any Pokemon that you find there. So it's good to get some of those evolution cards out, or just any other basic Pokemon that you might need. So yeah, if you have 2 more of these or any other type of Pokeball, I'd replace the Pokekids with those. We also have, to finish off our items, 2 switches. Now these switch cards, essential if you want to maybe prevent a knockout for one of your Pokemon. Always good to have some switches in. So that's pretty much the deck, not including energies, which I think they have 18 in total. Metal energy, just pure metal energies. So that is the deck for Zacian. There's a lot of improvement you can do with this deck. If you wanted to just use the theme deck on its own, it's okay, but there's definitely ways of making this better, just like any other theme deck. It's more of a starting point, really. So you can go in and play with this, but you probably want to use this as a starting point and make it better. Alright, let's go ahead and move on to Zamazenta deck. So for the Zamazenta deck, it seems like it's very gung-ho about sustaining itself, meaning it's trying to prevent damage getting done to it. So on Zamazenta, Guard Press does 30 damage, and then the next turn you take 20 less from any attacks. It's at 120, so it's going to be kind of iffy depending on what you're battling, if it's going to survive at all. But that 20 might make a difference, especially since it might be a good turn 2 or turn 3 attack. Power Rush, kind of another double-edged sword, or double-edged shield in this case, because flip a coin and then you can't attack if you don't get the right a call, or I guess if you get a tail. So for 120 and then the chance of not being able to attack, it's kind of iffy to me. Not really the best. And again, Hollow, non-hollow is from Rebel Clash. Then we have a 3-2 line of Ferroseed, Ferrothorn. Now, Ferrothorn, actually pretty decent, especially if you have this on your bench and you switch into it to attack. You can use it to essentially move some energy to maybe the Zamazenta or some of the other Pokemon we'll see later to attack. So Energy Slap does 100, and then you have the choice of moving all the energy that was attached to it onto something else, in case maybe the next turn you're going to get knocked out for sure. That way you don't have to worry about just getting any of that energy. Triple Smash for 1 energy, you can do up to 120, not bad. Really good card, honestly. Then we have a Rookity Corvisquire Korbinite line, so it's 3-3-2. Now Korbinite is really great. It has 170 HP, which is pretty high for a 1 prize Pokemon. Iron Wings that uses 130, but you have to discard 2, and then you take, I believe, 100 less, which is a lot, honestly. 100 less, and you'll see why we have to discard the stuff, and then why we have another Metal Saucer in this deck. I think both of these decks each come with 2, so it almost seems like they're kind of hinting at, hey, you should probably combine these somehow, which honestly I would suggest. But yeah, Korbinite, really good attack. Iron Wings, 130 damage, and then discard 2 to take 100 less next turn. Awesome card, honestly. Then we have a 3-2 line of Ponaward Bisharp. Now this one has an interesting gimmick. Change Order does 30 more for every other Ponaward on your bench. Now keep in mind you only get 3, so you need 1 to evolve onto, so you only have 2. So it's kind of right now because you only have 3, but if you have more Ponawards, if you have a 4th Ponaward, you can at least do 120 damage for 1 energy, which is not bad. This is actually what I used in the pre-release when Sword and Shield came out, because this is from Sword and Shield. It was a pretty fun gimmick, especially in pre-release. But I wouldn't suggest it for just this normal theme deck. We also have some Duraludons. So Duraludon, Metal Sharpener, great way to get some of that energy discarded with Korbinite back onto Korbinite if you need to. Power Beam, 110 damage is okay. Honestly, it's just more of a utility Pokemon again. Metal Scraper, using it as a Metal Saucer. So let's move on to, well, not really move on to, but briefly go over. We have 2 Professor's Research, 4 Hop. We have 2 Sonia, 2 Downs, and 2 Pokekids. It's pretty much the same supporters that we saw in the Zacian deck, which is why I think they're really hinting on, hey, you can combine these, because there's 2 and 2 of a lot of these cards. And going on to the item cards, again, we see 2 Metal Saucers, 2 Great Balls, 2 Switches, but then we see Potions, which is why I think this deck is definitely based on trying to sustain your Pokemon. So this will go really well with Korbinite, since you're already negating 100 damage. You can heal back 30 more using 2 potions if you want to get 60 back. But yeah, I think you could probably combine both of these decks and get a really great deck, since everything's metal based. If you wanted to, you could get rid of the Pidove Tranquil Unpheasant line and replace it with the Korbinites. That would actually be a better option in the Zacian deck. And of course the 18 energies, as always. For every single theme deck, it seems like they throw in 18 energies. But yeah, that was pretty much my review of them. My 2 cents, get both of them at the same time and then mishmash them, just because I think these 2 decks go better together instead of separate. They definitely seem like a lot of their stuff can go well. Again, you get the 2 Metal Saucers from each deck, so 4 if you get both of them, and then you get some other 4 switches. You could replace a lot of the stuff from the Zacian and a lot of the stuff from the Zamazenta one with each other, and you can probably make a really great deck. But yeah, overall, I think they're okay. I wouldn't really recommend them right now for experienced players. Maybe beginners would be good to get these, or if you're a collector and you want these holos. But I'd probably wait for the League Battle decks that are coming out on Friday, May 22nd, I think. Yeah, those featuring the Reshazard and the Pikarom are really great decks for experienced players that are missing some cards or want to try those decks out. But yeah, if you're a newer player, I'd suggest getting these, but if you're more experienced, I'd say skip these and go with those League Battle decks when they come out. But yeah, that's been my 2 cents. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Oh, and let's not forget the giveaway. So guys, thanks for entering the giveaway. I'm going to try and do these giveaways at least each week, if not bi-weekly. And as always, we're going to try and give a ultra rare or better card, including maybe some other ones and maybe some goodies. Like this time we're giving away a coin as well as the 3 cards. So I went ahead and put in the URL for the video, and it says there's about 39 of you. Let's go ahead and choose a winner for today for the first weekly giveaway. And the winner is Poke Addict Bernie. Congratulations! You've won a Milotic V, Apple in Reverse, and a Colossal, I was about to say Carcoal, Hollow, plus a Lucario coin. So Poke Addict Bernie, contact me on Instagram or Twitter, and I'll get your information to send this out to you as soon as possible. As a reminder, we're going to open up an entire booster box of Pokemon Rebel Clash live on the channel this Saturday, so if you don't want to miss it, definitely get subscribed. And we're going to probably announce our next giveaway there anyways, so hopefully you'll be there to catch it. So let's go ahead and get to the end of the video. Well anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed this review of these Zamazenta and Zacian theme decks. If you did, get subscribed and ring that bell so you get more updates on Pokemon theme decks, Pokemon openings, and Pokemon in general. And as always, thanks for watching.